Let me tell you something most people don't talk about. Living alone in your 70s is not what you imagine. On the outside, it looks like independence, freedom, peace. But the shocking reality. For many seniors, it also means silence that feels too heavy, bills that pile up with no backup, and risks that no one else notices until it's too late. What does it really mean when the house is quiet, when every choice falls on your shoulders, and when the memories around you outnumber the voices? Stay with me until the end, because the final truth I'll share is the one most seniors overlook, and it may be the difference between simply surviving and truly living. As we get older, life brings shifts we didn't plan for. One of those shifts is living alone, sometimes by choice, often by circumstance. And while independence is something to be proud of, the reality of living alone in your 70s carries challenges that most people don't see until they're right in front of them. Today, we'll pull back the curtain and look at the hidden truths of senior independence. The physical weight, the emotional silence, the financial pressure, the health risks, and the surprising opportunities that still exist if you know where to look. To make this real, let me introduce you to Evelyn. She's 74, a retired nurse, and she lives in the same suburban home where she raised her children. After her husband passed away, Evelyn thought she would enjoy the peace of her own space. No more compromises about furniture or TV shows. No more crowded mornings. Just quiet. But by 2024, Evelyn realized that the quiet was heavier than she expected. Her days were filled with small struggles that built up, and she often felt more burdened than free. Evelyn's story is not unique. It reflects the lives of thousands of older women who discover that independence in later years comes with hidden costs. Living alone means every chore is yours. Carrying groceries, hauling laundry, cleaning out the fridge, shoveling the walkway in winter. Things that once seemed small now take more energy. Evelyn admitted she avoided replacing a broken hallway light bulb for weeks. It seemed minor, but it turned her hallway into a shadowy, unsafe space. She stumbled one night and nearly fell. The CDC reports that falls at home are the leading cause of injury among seniors, and often, those falls happen because of clutter or overlooked maintenance. Physical independence at 70 isn't about strength. It's about creating an environment that makes life safer and lighter. Evelyn learned that the hard way. Then came the silence. Evelyn told me she missed the sound of her husband reading the newspaper, the chatter of children coming home from school, even the annoyance of someone leaving shoes in the hallway. Loneliness doesn't always appear as sadness. It shows up in the absence of routine. Meals eaten alone. TV shows watched not because you enjoy them, but because the voices fill the room. Studies have shown that loneliness in older adults is directly linked to higher risks of depression, memory decline, and even heart disease. Evelyn said the TV became her companion. The phone became her lifeline. But she also admitted, sometimes days would pass without hearing her name spoken aloud. Bills don't split in half when you're alone. Every grocery list, utility bill, and unexpected repair land squarely on one income. Evelyn faced this when her roof began to leak. It wasn't just the cost, it was the stress of choosing a contractor she could trust, managing the repair alone, and watching her savings shrink. According to AARP, older women living alone are more financially vulnerable than any other group of retirees. Not because they don't budget, but because emergencies have no cushion. For Evelyn, financial independence meant carrying not just responsibility, but anxiety. Living alone also meant there was no one to catch her slips. Evelyn once went 3 days without taking her prescription medication because she forgot, and no one was there to notice. Science tells us that clutter, isolation, and stress all worsen memory lapses. When you're alone, forgetting isn't just an inconvenience, it's a danger. Leaving the stove on, missing a doctor's appointment, doubling up on pills. Without someone to say, "Did you take your medicine?" Or, "Is the oven off?" The risk grows quietly. Evelyn began setting alarms on her phone. But she admitted, it felt different, being my own reminder for everything. Friendship circles shrink with age. Friends move, get sick, or pass away. Evelyn found herself attending more funerals than dinners. The house grew quieter as the years went on. Social isolation doesn't just steal joy, it impacts health as severely as smoking or obesity, according to studies on longevity. Evelyn said the hardest part wasn't being alone, It was realizing how rarely someone came by. She began volunteering at her local library just to feel connected. It wasn't about the books, it was about being needed, seen, and part of something again. Loneliness and clutter don't just sit in the background, they affect the body. Stress hormones rise, diets suffer, and energy dips. Evelyn confessed she often ate crackers and tea for dinner because cooking for one didn't feel worth the effort. Studies confirm that seniors living alone are at higher risk for malnutrition, not because of lack of food, but lack of motivation. The shocking truth: independence without care can quietly erode health more than we realize. But Evelyn's story doesn't end there. One Sunday, her church held a decluttering and community day. She reluctantly joined, bringing along a box of old clothes. What started as clearing space turned into conversations, laughter, and friendships. Evelyn realized that decluttering wasn't about giving up, it was about making space for connection. Her home grew lighter, and so did her heart. She started hosting tea for neighbors, inviting her grandchildren over more often, and even joining a walking group. For the first time in years, her independence felt like freedom again, not a burden. Here are the steps Evelyn, and many others, found helpful. 1. Declutter for safety. Clear walkways, fix lighting, and keep essentials close. 2. Set reminders. Use alarms, notes, or smart devices for medication and tasks. 3. Build a circle. A few trusted people who check in weekly can make all the difference. 4. Cook with intention. Even simple meals prepared with care are acts of self-respect. 5. Seek community. Churches, senior centers, book clubs. Connection is medicine. Here's what no one tells you. Independence isn't about doing everything alone. It's about creating an environment that supports you. The real risk isn't clutter on the floor, it's waiting until a crisis to change. Evelyn said it best: don't wait for a fall, a missed bill, or an empty week to realize you need help. Choose peace now, before life forces your hand. So here's the shocking reality of living alone in your 70s. It's harder than it looks, but it can also be brighter than you think if you take small, intentional steps. Don't let silence, clutter, or fear steal your joy. Make your home lighter, your heart fuller, and your days safer. If Evelyn's story touched you, share this video with someone who needs it. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories, strategies, and truths that help seniors live with dignity and freedom. Together, we can build lives that feel less heavy and far more full.